6 more days to that.
Until everything changes.
Until everything changes.
Everything's really changing. You know what I mean?
No, I do know exactly what you mean. It's changing in a crazy way.
Everything's really changing. And, like, I have Eras tour tickets. Like, my hair is a little bit different. I'm wearing my glasses again.
Yep.
Like, we're getting rid of the chair. We're doing a live show. Trump is back. He's back in the biz.
The change period.
What does that mean?
Oh, we started?
Yeah, I'm recording. Everything's
Oh my
rolling.
God.
You think I was just talking like that?
At first I was like, is Joe
high as hell?
Are we on? How do you feel that you have the Eras tour tickets?
I will say...
And put it... Yep. But anyways, we have the tickets.
We have the tickets, and, like, I feel nothing. You know, like...
I spent the money, and I also felt
nothing. Because I was so numb from the pain of that experience that, like, I wasn't even excited. Like, I'm gonna be... Like, I know... Like, literally, I feel like what I'm doing right now is, like, shadow work. I feel like buying tickets to Eras Tour was shadow work. Like, I had to, like, go through this dark night of the soul on Ticketmaster. My future self is going to be able to bask in the work and the glow that I've created. Yeah, of course.
So it's worth
literally, of course,
transcendentalism.
It's transcendentalism, and we experienced that. Yeah, it's thanks to Ticketmaster, who I really do believe, like, in
they're done.
They're done. They're done.
They're toast.
They're toast. If there's
and
a class action, I'm on it. If you work for Ticketmaster,
good children.
How does it feel to do that?
For the last time.
The last time for 4 weeks.
The last time for 4 weeks. I just feel like everything's I feel like it's graduation.
I kind of feel kind of sick.
I kind of do feel sick. This is the last time you're gonna see us, like, on screen until the new year. No, I lied.
What does that
We
mean?
still have a Patreon.
Yeah, literally you can see us once a week, and also, like, I'm someone who's on social media so much that you can just see me whenever you want.
Yeah, but I don't know if this hair is gonna still be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, okay, like, so this is our technical season finale. We have one showstopper actual finale coming out next week, which is gonna be the live show. So how does it feel to be like, I feel like this is a good exercise for us, because right now I'm like, I am speaking in this moment, I am a person who already did the live show.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I made it.
We're still alive.
We're still alive,
and we lost only like 1,000 followers. No, it's actually fine.
Yeah,
the only people that know what happened in that room are the ones that saw it happen until next week. You know what I mean?
Why are you talking like someone dies at the show? What are you putting out into the universe right now?
I will say it was a tragic event.
Stop.
I'm kidding.
I like cutting this out.
No, how do I feel now that it's done? I feel like I can get on any stage.
Any stage.
I'm ready for
you have a
stage
stage that you want us to come on, we're coming.
We're coming. And if you have a city that you want us to come to, we're coming. And if you have a comedian that you want us to perform with, we're coming.
This is the most coming we've done in a long time.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel pretty calm. I feel like, wow, we did the thing.
We did the thing.
And yeah, the floodgates are open. I think my biggest fear always has been, like, stand up of some sort, but I've always wanted to do it. But we kind of found our way to do it.
Sit down.
It's sit down.
It's sit down comedy.
Sit down comedy.
And we don't got to stand up for nobody.
No.
And that's the thing. When you learn that, you can put everything behind you. And I think when it comes to our actual live show itself, the only thing I was worried about. Were you wanting? The only thing I was worried about.
Are you boring me?
Only thing I was worried about is not being able to talk in front of a group of people.
Don't you, like, do that all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, as in me and you talk?
Yes.
Yeah.
In front of that many people.
We're doing it right now with our live studio audience. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good Children has been filmed in front of a live studio audience in Orlando, Florida for the past 6.5 months.
We're actually on set. We've been lying to you.
We met just a couple months ago doing a chemistry test on camera. It
I've
really
never met a
worked
liberal.
out. Again, this is our season finale technically, which is nuts. And before we even get into the theme, I feel like we should again reflect on the past highlights of the season.
The past 6 months.
The past 28 episodes. 6 months.
6 months. Starting off talking to absolutely nobody.
Nobody. Hey guys, welcome to the first ever episode of Good Children. To catch you up to speed, we met when we were 4 years old in a Hard Rock hotel pool, and the rest is history.
We've been through our awkward middle school years where we were honestly pumping out content.
Non-stop.
Drag.
It was our job. We've existed in drag.
And we were doing it at 12 years old. And then 6 months later, at the end of our first season, talking to a lot of people that want to hear us keep talking
and squawking
and swatching and squatching and
yeah. I mean, we've been through it all. We've been through we've been to the mall, we've been to the pool, we've been to Italy. If I'm lucky enough to find a way to live a life that does not require to be constantly plugged in for an office, for a job, for some imaginary emergency, I'm going to grab onto that with my life. The amount of people that I know, including myself, that I have watched hustle and grind for a job that will never love you back. Living in the full corporate lifestyle was actually killing me. It's been 6 weeks for us, and this has been constant success. It has been so fulfilling. And we're still working jobs. Yeah. We're lucky that we have time to do both. Yeah. We're lucky that we're sitting in Rome talking about this. But even just spending some of my free time editing this, I have been happier. Speaking firsthand, I need money.
I have no money.
But I'm happy. That's crazy that was in this time frame.
Oh my god, I can't believe we went to Italy.
We went to Italy and did a whole episode about it. Feels like a blur. We had a sweet 16.
Do you remember why were we doing it? Why were we making Carvel ice cream cakes in the back? Boy Scouts?
What the hell are you saying?
Yep.
I don't remember any of the themes.
No, I was about to say, you are really reminding me of everything. I don't remember.
I'm trying to think of it. I think we could try. Okay, it was the mall. Followed by the mall, it was underage drinking.
Yes.
Which was a good one. And we should go back to that kind of format. Then it was pop culture, right? It was episode 3 is called Leave It All to Me. That was our big moment. 4. That was Kelly Clarkson.
Yes.
4 was Locked in the Closet. Changed to something else. I don't remember what it's called now. 5.
Okay, I know everyone was thinking, this is a beautiful sweater, and this is Joe's sweater. I walked back into my room yesterday after work, and there's this sweater laying on my bed, and Joe, thank you so much, because I'm going to wear this.
I think I want it back. I think I do really want it back.
Can you please just let me wear it on my date coming up?
The thing is, you stain everything I ever give you. You throw out shit that I give you.
The only reason I threw out that, I know that one item that you're talking
vintage
about.
Miami Dolphins jersey that you cut the sleeves off of.
I tried to cut the sleeves off.
It's abysmal.
It was abysmal.
It was abysmal.
I agree.
But this is a white sweater. I'm assuming you're going to have red sauce on that in 2 days.
I'm not going to have red sauce. I won't have red sauce. I won't even drink coffee in it.
What date are you going on?
I got a date on Saturday.
With the COVID positive man?
Oh, not this Saturday. Next Saturday now. So the date never happened because he's ghosting me. And sometimes we fake COVID to get out of situations like that. I just oh my god.
It's just I'm looking at it and I'm looking at you in it with the jeans on and the hair, and it's giving me Harry from When Harry Met Sally, and that does make me want it back. Do you know what I mean?
So okay, I can find a compliment here. So what you're saying about me is that I'm inspiring you to take the sweater back.
Don't try and turn this on you.
No, because if you said yes,
yeah,
okay, you can have your sweater back.
It's fine. You can just have it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I mean, like, we live in the same apartment.
You're
I
right.
could just take it at any moment.
You really could.
It is the final episode.
The final episode.
Of season 1.
Episode 30.
Okay, so it's actually technically episode 29. This is not our last episode. The live show will come out as an episode, video, and podcast next week. You know, sometimes it's good to take a break. We're taking our break. I'm so excited I literally, like, I mean this wholeheartedly. I cannot wait to sit back down in these chairs. Yeah. Well, in this room, the chair, Jenny Lee.
It'll be a different color.
Jenny Lee, like, don't worry. It's literally, the new chair is off camera right now. So, like, we're going to have a new chair, maybe new looks.
We might have new looks. I don't know. I've been toying around with the idea of changing up my hair.
Yeah.
Because the mullet is new just for the podcast.
What does that mean?
I did this haircut specific, like, just for the season. Like,
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
I'm saying this is still relatively new. This is 6 months, but I want to switch it up for season 2.
Okay. I know, it's so crazy because of the curls, though.
I know. I will miss the curls, but I want my buzz era.
I think I'm going to be so freaked out looking at you.
I think so, too. I think I'm also going to be freaked out looking at me.
Everyone's going to be freaked out.
Yeah, I think that the first episode is going to be like, I'm going to have to wear a hat. And you're going to have to rip it off my head. You want to buzz?
Yeah.
Should we both buzz?
Say ball tricks?
Stop. Literally stop. No, we are.
I was, like, thinking about it. Like, because, again, like, one of my biggest insecurities, if not my biggest insecurity at this point in my life, is my hairline. And I'm like, if I just kind of, I think about this, like, once a week. I'm like, if I shaved my head at the beginning of COVID, like, my life would be so different right now. Because that's the only time when I would have done it. Yeah. And I, like, now it's, especially now, like, if I shaved my head and it looked so bad, and it doesn't matter if it actually looks bad, if I thought it looked so bad, what would I do about this podcast? I become a beanie person.
Yeah, you be beanies. You love a hat.
I love a hat. I do love a hat, honestly.
Yeah.
But then there's, like, I don't know. My issue with a hat is, like, I get hat hair. But I guess I wouldn't
love seeing hair come out of a hat.
I love that. Like, when I had my mullet.
Yeah,
it's the only reason I ever had my mullet was because I loved seeing it from the back of my head. And then, like, when I had, like, hair that, like, curled over, that's, like, the cutest look.
Anytime that it's a shaved side or anything, it's always like,
it doesn't look good with a hat.
Doesn't look good with a hat.
Unless you're fully bald.
Yeah.
Then I think hats can return. But beanies more so in that situation. It is winter.
It is. We're going to be so cold.
I don't know. Like, why do I want to do it so badly now? Oh, my God.
No, it's going to be good. We're going to do it. Bald heads.
Wow.
Wow.
A lot's changing.
A lot.
And we're changing.
I
feel like I'm growing up. I feel like, as you know, and as I may have talked about, as I'm sure I've spoken about, I firmly believe that everyone in the world goes through Taylor Swift eras in their lives. So, like, I think especially people who are, like, entertainers will have a 1989 era, and they'll have a Reputation era, and they'll have a Lover era, and a Folklore, and Evermore, and possibly even a Midnights era now. I'm not really sure how that fits into the emotional ecosphere of what I'm doing here, but I feel like we began this podcast and entered the 1989 era. And I'm kind of excited to enter a sort of Reputation era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to, like, take a back seat for a moment and, like, yeah, are you ready for it? You know what I mean?
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready to, like, be low key, but then, like, perform at the highest grossing tour of all time.
Yes.
Like, it's like at the same time, it's that dichotomy with Reputation.
I kind of feel like I'm entering my Lover era.
Really?
Yeah, which is really interesting. I mean, I have no prospects, nothing on the horizon, nothing at all.
Okay.
Literally nothing at all. But I'm just getting that energy.
Yeah.
I also, like, think that these past 6 months, looking to, like, from where we started, who we were, to where I'm at now, like, whether if it's not love for somebody else, I think I'm entering my own personal Lover era.
Oh my God. Like, well, that's what Lover's all about.
Yeah.
Me, he. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's literally me, he. Like, we've talked about everything. I've said my deepest, darkest secrets. I've talked about things I never thought I was going to put out there to the world.
Yeah, or even to each other.
And I'm leaving this first season being like, this is me.
Which one?
Both of them. This
Camp
is
Rock and Greatest Showman?
yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, I've always been the kind of girl that hid my face.
Yeah. You've never been that kind of girl. Like,
I don't know.
this
I've
is the
always
delusion.
tried. Exactly. I've always tried to resonate with Mitchie.
But you're literally a Megan Jet Martin. Whatever, Major Loser.
I'm too cool for you.
You think you're hot, but I'm sorry you're not exactly who you think you are. What were we saying?
We were talking about Camp Rock and who would win.
Why? How'd we get into that?
I genuinely.
Oh, you were like, you've changed.
Oh, this is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the podcast itself.
Oh yeah, I mean 150%, and we harp on this all the time, but I think it's worth talking about again. Like, yeah, like all of the things that made me insecure are now kind of like making me money. You know what I mean? Which is like crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, those are the things. Everything that you think is weird about yourself or undesirable about yourself is actually what makes you unique and what makes you interesting.
Yeah.
And I think
embrace
so many people water themselves down to fit in and like remove the uniqueness from their lives.
And you know what you need is charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
That's the recipe. Like, you don't need anything else. But uniqueness to me matters more than anything. I think you need a lot of charisma and nerve to show off your uniqueness. And everyone who embraces their uniqueness comes with the talent.
I agree.
So thank you, RuPaul.
Thank you, RuPaul.
So what are we talking about this week?
Do you want to do the intro?
Oh, hey you guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
And Andrew Muscarella
reflect on our 21 years of friendship, growing up in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and all of the nostalgia, trauma, and trends that come along with it.
Trends.
We're trending. You know,
We're trending.
Yeah.
We're trendy. We're trending.
There's trended out. Yeah.
There are so many trends to talk about, and there is so little time.
There's so little time. It's a shame that we only have 10 minutes to do the whole episode.
Because we're on a severe time crunch today. I have to make my HelloFresh.
Yeah, what are you making? What's it?
Today is the crispy cayenne chicken cutlets with a mashed potato and broccoli. Yeah.
That could have been an ad for them. It could be.
It could be. Clothing trends. There are food trends. There are toy trends. There are movie trends. There are bracelet trends. There are...
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
good.
I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's a lot of trends. I think that we've established that. I think that we were kind of fortunate growing up where like trends moved pretty slow. Like it was pre-internet. Like we didn't have micro trend moments. Like I feel like I've lately been thinking about like my mom like sometimes works in a middle school and it talks about how like every single middle schooler has like a fidget toy on them at all times now.
A fidget spinner?
Yeah, some sort of like either like the little thing where you like press it or like some kind of fidget toy at all times. Like she's like more often than not they're holding that.
Crazy to me.
I know, yeah. And I was like, I wonder like what our version of that was. Like what were we like? Because I'm like, yeah, probably it's because like more and more kids being raised on the internet, like your attention span's crazy.
That didn't come out until like what, late high school?
Yeah, but like what was our thing that like everyone was walking around with? You know what I mean?
Their iPod, but not. Like, I mean, their Nintendo DS's.
People were walking. You were walking. You didn't even have one.
I did have one.
No, you didn't.
Joe, yes, I absolutely
did. Play video games.
I played my DS. I played Mario Kart for literal sure.
I can't imagine you operating a device.
Yeah, it was my black DS. It was long and rectangular, and I also had this small Game Boy, and it was.
I can't imagine.
I had the flat.
What time did you have in your day to play video games?
In a car.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, how do we keep him engaged here? And I'm like, I don't know what people were walking around with our like.
I mean, we had like a Live Strong bracelet moment.
Yeah,
Live Strong bracelets.
That was our fidget spinners.
Listen, I will say one thing about a Live Strong bracelet is like when Lance Armstrong's diagnosis came in, third graders everywhere.
Wrists up.
I was in elementary school sick for Lance. I was so worried for Lance Armstrong's well-being.
For years.
For years, I was concerned about his life.
Yeah.
And I think I was buying knockoffs.
People
Remember
were
that?
People were selling them. We were buying them. We were getting thicker versions. We were getting thinner versions, but nothing could replace
the original Livestrong. I want one.
I want one too.
I think it's such an iconic piece of history. Like
I remember, it spread like wildfire.
It spread so fast. That's what I'm saying. That was crazy. Everyone needed a Livestrong bracelet, and like I remember my dad like coming home from the city one day, like coming home from work and like holding up a bag that he got probably on Canal Street that was like 50 Livestrong bracelets. And
you're like,
and we were like, oh my God!
The coolest kid in school. I'm gonna have 10 of
like,
them.
Yeah, like stacked them on my arm.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey guys, like I just like really care about cancer. Like I'm like,
like
really helping.
Lance.
Like that was.
I'm like, I love Neil Armstrong.
The Livestrong bracelets, it's trickled down. Like,
yes,
people are still like making event bracelets that are.
Yep.
I mean, like the Jochella bracelets. I had the year where the Jochella bracelets were Livestrong colored. They were the yellow Jochella bracelets.
It's the impact that Lance had.
That was a moment, and that kind of bled into like the I Heart Boobies bracelets.
Yep.
That was. Did you have one?
I did have one, but every single time I put it on, I only had one because like people around me had them, and I would really keep it in my backpack because I felt uncomfortable putting a bracelet on that said I Heart Boobies.
Yeah,
I just felt something
I would never
off about it. And now looking back,
you knew why.
I knew why. There was just something like,
you're like something about
cutting
this.
Edge about the boobies on my wrist.
Yeah, it was edgy.
How old were we?
Middle school.
It was like 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being like, you guys are fucking nuts. Yeah. Like, who's like, why would you? It's porn.
They weren't good children.
No,
they
like,
were crazy kids.
And you also could like kind of only get those at like a Hot Topic or a Spencer's. Yes. And like,
and we all know our Hot Topic and Spencer stories.
We were not entering. But then that kind of bled into like the Jack Vanek bracelets. Do you know those that were like, they're black with like white text and they'd be like boom or something, or it'd be like, I don't even like. I'm gonna pull one up.
Please pull it up.
But Jack Vanek bracelets to this day, like,
did you have?
I had a few, yeah.
Then I probably have.
I was
them
into
for sure.
Jack Vanek because I was like, this is literally like it was like, again, it was like Hot Topic adjacent, but like more online than that. Bracelets, Silly Bandz. Oh my God.
No, like Silly Bandz. Like I don't know why I'm sick about Silly Bandz because I always felt like I needed another Silly Band. People were like, can I get that one?
Silly Bandz trigger a fight or flight response in me to this day.
Yes.
Like it was so like empirical to our upbringing, and that was basically a micro trend.
Yeah,
that was like 6 weeks. And it was the most important 6 weeks of my entire life.
And you know what? It was like each shape was so unique, but when you put it on that wrist, they were all the same.
All just like crinkly, like
rubber bands.
Yeah,
that honestly cut off my circulation.
Yeah, and like ripped out my like baby arm hairs. Yeah, like actually painful. I remember there were Harry Potter ones of that. Mm-hmm. The fucking unicorn. There was like rare Silly Bandz.
There were. The unicorn was
a rare one. And I feel like there also were like penis shaped Silly Bandz, right?
There were. They started to get a little bit inappropriate.
Just like those fucking sex bracelets. What were those? What were those?
What was that, Joe? Because I personally believe like I missed that trend, but I also wasn't going to partake in that trend. And
they were like, oh, this one's for an HJ, this one's for a BJ, like this one's like third base.
HJ?
I'm like, literally, like, you guys actually belong in prison. Like, this is illegal. What you're doing is illegal. Yeah, like that's another insane thing. Like, what's going on with America's youth? That we were like, we're going to wear bracelets that like could possibly initiate sex. I'm sure most, if not all.
Were they initiating sex or were they saying
it wasn't like a badge? No,
it wasn't a badge. It wasn't like I have gotten a hand job.
I think that's one version of it.
Now our modern day version is like, what are you into?
Yeah, no, sex bracelets, like those sex bracelets were the original Grindr. Like actually, because it was like, oh, if you break this, you have to do this to me. Was basically what it was.
It's like, what are you into? Shows your wrist.
It's like hanky code.
And middle schoolers were wearing them.
Yeah, no, that was disturbing.
Yeah.
That was a time. But Silly Bandz.
Silly Bandz was innocent. Innocent for the most part.
We were Silly Bandz kids. And then there was kids who were wearing sex bracelets. And I think that's the key differentiation here.
Yeah. There are two types of kids in this world. The ones that were Silly Bandz and the ones that were sex bracelets. And sex bracelets is disgusting. Like that name is disgusting. There was just that like rise. I remember just like wanting to be a hipster so badly at that time, like late middle school, early high school. And like there was like obviously the introduction of like when we were popping out the glasses, the 3D glasses. When we were popping out those 3D glasses, we just wanted the thick rim. That was our first pandemic. Yeah. It was literally that every single middle schooler was getting those thick rimmed Disney 3D glasses, popping out those lenses and wearing them for fashion. Yeah.
that was an insane time culturally.
What was that? And then we started adding the actual lens and just it was clear. But we just wanted the thick
I was
rim.
obsessed with the thick rim glass. And like it was not like, I don't know if that exists anymore. Like it was much more than just wearing glasses. It was like a statement about who you were if you had a thick frame.
I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm edgy.
I'm a
cool.
hipster.
I'm hipster and I belong in Williamsburg.
Yeah. And look at where we are now.
Look where we ended up.
I think fashion has gotten a lot more homogenous. But like at the time, like if you were wearing fucking mustaches.
Yeah.
Like a mustache, a suspender,
like
a Doc Marten, like a beanie.
Yeah.
Like that was if you dress like a fisherman, like the son of a fisherman, like
the son of a fisherman. That's going to be a restaurant soon enough.
Son of a fisherman. Yeah. I think that we're kind of dressed like the sons of fishermen in this moment. Like it's the turtlenecks.
Yeah.
But like, I think this also is like, this is influenced by my childhood. This is like Tumblr core. Like knowing someone who had a DSLR camera and knowing like who could like do photography was also an aspirational goal. Like I was like, if someone could just take cool pictures of me, like,
and you would throw a little filter over a little vignette,
like the original Instagram filters, like XX Pro, Valencia, like those moments. I learned the definition of pretentious in like freshman year, and I was like, me? Like, is this me?
You're like, obviously I'm going to be the pretentious one. Obviously I'm going to tweet. I'm going to subtweet and I'm going to make my BBM status. Subtweeting, that was brutal. That was nasty.
I lived to subtweet.
I'd be like, oh, okay. Subtweet. Just tweet me next time. Just
happening to
at
you?
me next time.
Was that happening to you?
No, I feel like I've definitely come across tweets before when I was in high school or middle school, and I like to make things about me, so I was like, that's about me. I just had a conversation with them, and they're obviously talking about me.
And they probably were.
They absolutely were.
For sure. I think there's people to this day, and I am going to throw some shade. If you're still subtweeting, like, in the year of our Lord Taylor Swift 2022, like, you need to sign up for BetterHelp. Like, you need to get a therapist. Like, we don't need to do it anymore. Like, we just don't. Like, one of my favorite activities in my entire life is stalking anyone I ever dated on Twitter for that very purpose.
You're like, one, am I blocked? Two,
and I was blocked recently by one of them, which I've so fair.
So fair, Joe.
But the other ones, I was like doing it, and then I was like, why? Like, what do I want out of this? Like, I want to just be remembered and like to be like potentially subtweeted. Like, I'm 26 years old. Like, my parents were married. Is my name still
in their mouth? Are they talking about
and then
me?
I was like, anyone who does subtweet, like, get a fucking life.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Get a podcast.
And call it subtweet, but get a podcast. No, or maybe reach out to that person if you're letting it ruminate and you're like, that's a problem.
I was ruminating, marinating, masturbating.
You were
every
aiding
day in my life. I was baiting.
You were baiting.
Yeah, I was aiding and baiting daily in high school. That was all I did. I lived to subtweet.
You did.
I was like, not everyone can be royal. Give me a trend on your list.
I today was walking. That was shocking in itself. Today I was walking and I just took out my notes app and I typed out about 15 different trends.
I can't wait to hear them. You started and I was like, just stop telling me these. Like, tell me on the podcast.
I literally was like, trampolines, period.
That's an insane
You're like,
one.
Trampolines.
Trampolines.
But I will say there was a time out of nowhere that everyone had a damn trampoline in your backyard.
That was not, but that's been omnipresent. Yeah.
I know, but like, I think it brought out something in me that I felt it was a trend. I was like, I might not be able to get 1 inch off the ground on land, but put me on a trampoline and I'm gonna get the gold like Gabby. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna do a flip, and people are gonna be shocked. People are gonna be shocked.
I'm sure people were shocked. I'm shocked at what you just said.
Yeah.
The idea of it being a trend, though, is where again it falls flat for me. Like, I do feel
moon shoes.
Can we go back to trampolines really quickly? Which is like, why do I feel like everyone had a trampoline but me? Like, what was the feeling about that?
I felt that about you as well.
Everyone had a trampoline but me.
I think I had a trampoline. I think I had a trampoline for all of 1 year or two, and then it was like, why do we have the trampoline? You know what I mean? Because it's like, you're not using the trampoline. It was definitely a thing that, like, when you would go over somebody else's house, they'd be like, let's go on the trampoline.
Yeah.
And you do it. Big fear. that net wasn't holding shit?
What if you flipped over?
What if you flipped over the net?
What if the spring sprung?
That also was a huge fear. Like, I'm jumping on this trampoline. Everyone's thinking it. Everyone's thinking it. Like,
everyone's thinking this could be the one.
This could be the one. They're like, Andrew, let's play popcorn. Play popcorn with me. They're going
soaring.
They're soaring. They're flying. They're almost going over the net. I'm like, all right, guys, this is a fucking comedy show. My turn. I'd sit my ass down on that trampoline. They'd try to jump. I'd be sitting put.
Yeah, that was so much of our lives.
Yeah, it was. But I'm shocked. I really am shocked that you didn't have a trampoline, and I just believe it was a safety issue.
It had to happen. It had to happen. My mom being like, no, trampolines, you'll die. Trampolines out. That's out. That's
what I'm saying. That's why I was like, done. You know, like built-in trampolines.
I think those are kind of chic. Those are kind of sexy.
But you never can get the height that you want.
Really? It's different?
No, it's very different.
Have you dealt with that?
What?
Who do you know?
I've seen.
Who, like Khloe Kardashian?
Yeah. I have seen them jump on the trampoline, and maybe it was just because they weren't getting the height, whatever.
Right,
but
we have no idea, but it wasn't the same.
No, those netted trampolines.
Anything that could potentially kill you does seem to be the better option in terms of like entertainment purposes.
I agree.
What was your next?
We had an obsession.
Shoes?
The only reason I'm going to transition to moon shoes is because there was an obsession with bouncing. And
I don't know what you're talking about with moon shoes, though.
You never had moon shoes.
They were like, we were too young for moon shoes at their peak.
I had moon shoes.
Why did you have all these things? Like, again, for someone who doesn't seem like you were equipped to move that much.
Because I wanted the luxury of bouncing, Joe. Like, what? Like, I just would remember, like, putting on my moon shoes. I would be with my cousins. We all had moon shoes. We'd be in the backyard and pretend to be on the moon.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And you would bounce in those shoes. I
remember having a moon shoe, but I was never thrilled by it. Pogo sticks? Freaked me out.
They freaked me out. Don't get me near a pogo stick.
I used to pogo. I was a pogoer.
I think that
tracks.
It tracks, but I also think that, like, it was something I was really jealous about.
That I had a pogo stick?
That you were good at it.
Yeah, I could pogo. I could definitely pogo. I think that's probably one of the only sports I could do is pogo.
No, I would say that the two things that I think I was jealous about when you were a kid is...
There's only two.
Pogo and bike.
You can't bike? I used to bike.
You used to be biking.
I would like bike.
Like, you were like going around the block. You know what I mean? Like, that was
kind of huge.
It was really big. I was like, Joe has a lot of freedom. Joe knows how to ride a bike, and like, that's not fair.
I wish I had so little anxiety that I would be able to get myself on a bike in this current
and not
time.
think the entire time like I'm gonna get hit. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, like I can't imagine riding a bike around Brooklyn.
No,
people do it every day. People love it.
People love to ride their bikes on the sidewalk.
Bike home drunk after a night out.
I can't imagine. I can
barely walk. Mm-hmm. I can barely cross a street.
I can barely order my Uber.
Yeah, I can barely get in the car sober.
I agree.
Biking is insane to me.
From bikes, razor scooters.
Mm-hmm. Trauma.
You were also somebody that I remember having a razor scooter from the dawn of day.
Yeah.
And then I felt like you were always upgrading.
Yes. I was going to say, I feel like I had about 45 razor scooters in my life.
Yeah.
Like, they were coming out with new ones. I don't know.
You got it.
The razor scooter was the original iPhone. Like, once a year around Christmas, they were like, surprise, new razor scooter, and you need this one because the handle's unbuttoned. Mm-hmm. And like, I was like...
And like, there's cushion for your handles.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
But those razor scooters, as we all know, like, inflict some of the greatest harm upon the rider known to man. And it's when that fucking swivel clocks the ankle. I have a scar to this day on my ankle.
From clocked ankles?
No, this is a traumatic story that my family didn't believe for years. And I told them the whole time, I was like, no, this happened. I'm not going to say who it was because he's dead. But someone, an older man around my family... I was at a block party. I was riding my razor scooter. My mom was like, Joe, come here. I wasn't listening because I was a child and I wanted to ride my razor scooter. This man sticks out his walker.
No.
Sticks the walker out, I go flying over the handlebar of the scooter, stripe open my entire leg. The scar is literally still here from it, and no one believed me. I was like, no, like he stuck his walker out and tripped me on purpose.
No, we gotta start believing kids.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He's such a sweet man.
He would never do that. And I was like, no, he did. He may not have intended for me to flip over the fucking
Joe,
thing.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Yeah,
I believe you.
And maybe again, flipping over the handlebars of a Razor scooter at the behest of a grown adult who I trusted. Maybe that caused me some driving anxiety. Maybe that's why I don't have a license.
I think that you do need to unpack that, because I think that is like a major theme.
Right?
Is that old man, you have trust issues.
Oh, I have trust issues. I was thinking about that too. I was like, do I have trust issues? Like, I think in some instances I trust people way too much. And then in some instances I don't trust people at all. And it's like one or the other. Either I'm telling you everything about my life, or I'm telling you nothing about me. I'm actually cutting you off.
It's the cane tripper.
It's the cane tripper.
We live in a fucking
This is
kennel.
a fucking hotel for dogs?
Yeah, we live in a kettle.
Pillow pets.
Pillow pets.
Pillow pets, to me, I loved a stuffed animal.
Yeah. And when they came out with
Pillow
pet,
and a pet.
and you can rest your head on that pillow as you
On that unicorn's body.
as you looked at the unicorn in the eyes. You know what I mean? Like, my head is
Were
here.
you like 69ing with the pillow pet?
Basically. It was glorious. I cuddled.
The only thing is, like, I want to say, like, I respect the Pillow Pet brand. I respect and I value what their contributions to society have been.
Very smart of you to say, because we're going to have a partnership with Pillow Pet.
Yeah.
If you work for Pillow Pet.
Yeah, no, they're all, like, on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, Pillow Pets is back. I just felt like, for me, the idea of the pet becoming a pillow ruined the illusion that it was a pet. Like, I was about...
You couldn't get anything by you. Let me tell you.
No.
Jeez.
Like, I wanted things to feel real. That's why I liked Webkinz, because I was like, I literally get to see this thing in action. But, like, the pillow pet, I was like, this isn't a pet. This is a pillow.
I agree. It was more, I think, their market. It's amazing for travel. It's amazing for... If you're on a car ride from New York to Florida or something and you want to bring a stuffed animal, you got the best of both worlds.
Really?
You're sleeping and you got your stuffed animal that you can talk to.
Okay. I felt like pillow pets were soulless. Like, I didn't feel the spirit of a pillow pet. Can you tell the Shinning Star story? Because we've never, like, you told the story, but it never made it into that cut. And I think people deserve to know who Shinning Star is.
Okay, so Shinning Star. Was I almost on the way to flag football practice?
You told me the story at flag football practice.
Okay.
We debriefed.
Again,
like,
if you haven't caught on, Joe's always setting my trends, right? Joe had Webkinz, and I was like, I need my first Webkinz.
I remember when I got my first Webkinz.
And I got this beautiful golden retriever. So sweet, so cute. I was like, I want to name this golden retriever Shining Star, because that's just a classic name to me.
No, like, that's also something to unpack. Like,
why was I naming it Shining Star?
It's so sweet. Like, the idea of you, like, you remind me of the dinosaur from Dinosaurs at this point in your life.
Yeah.
You're, like, so sweet. Like, literally so sweet. And, like, picking up that Webkinz and saying, Shining Star.
Shining Star.
I can hear Shining Star is so fucking good. And like, what came next?
What came next was really sad. So I was enabling the account. It was like, what do you want to name your Webkinz? And I was like, I definitely want to name it Shining Star. And I typed it out.
Mrs. Birdie was like, what you're gonna name?
And I was like, Shining Star. And then I said submit, and it was like, Shinning Star. And I was like, how do you edit this? How do you edit it? No, I spelled it wrong. It ruined everything for me. I told Joe, did I tell you I named it Shining Star?
You literally, I remember being on the flag football field. It was probably like this time of year, 12 to 13 years ago, right? Probably like, no, hopefully more.
I really hope it was more than that.
Like 15 to 20 years ago, 15 to 18 years ago. And you were like, I got my first Webkinz. It's a golden retriever, but I named it Shinning Star instead of Shining Star. How do I change it? And I was probably like, you idiot!
Shining Star? You wanted to name it Shining Star? Why? I was like, I don't know. I just liked it. I just thought it was a shining star. I love it.
We
It's
probably
cold.
were like actually on the field playing flag football, having this conversation.
People are running by us, getting touches. I'm like, I like it. It was gold because the golden retriever. So shining star. Stars are gold.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I spelt it wrong.
But you'll always be a shining star to me.
I'll always be a shining star. Sometimes there are shining stars, and sometimes there are shining
stars. And I remember like the S in Shinning was capitalized, but the S in star was lowercase.
Absolutely.
It was very like
I was
artistic.
choosing my emphasis on
on Shinning.
Shinning.
It's never too early to play holiday music, and it's never too early to start thinking about gifts. Whether it's for a friend or the friends in your pants, you can make this a season to be jolly with Manscaped. Do your little drummer boy a favor and use the Lawnmower 4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Then add in Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have the... My parents are obsessed with the shower products. Top-of-the-line shower products to have people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice when you get naughty by going to manscaped.com and using code GOODCHILDREN for free shipping and 20% off. That's Good Children for free shipping and 20% off.
Heinz Easy Squeeze.
That being written down is insane.
It came
when
to
Heinz
me.
said our ketchup is green now, our ketchup is purple.
Fluorescent green.
I loved it.
I was obsessed with it. I was putting it on everything.
Yep, it was the peak cuisine for me. I think they should bring that back.
I agree.
The Shrek one, that's for me.
Do you remember Shrek? Shrek had a huge moment. It was the Shrek's Heinz Easy Squeeze, but they also had Shrek Twinkies. Do you remember that?
Were they green?
They were green filling.
No, Shrek got us from every angle. He fucked us from every angle. Like Shrek was there. Everywhere you look, there he is.
Shrek was squirting. Shrek was creamed.
In Twinks.
In Twinks. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I told the story before. The toys, I'm sure I want to tell the story because I want someone else out there to feel less alone. My mind and me. Is when do you remember the scented Shrek toys? They made toys that were scented.
This one definitely missed me.
You definitely saw them in my room.
Definitely smelt them.
Yeah. So there was a Shrek, there was a donkey, there was like a Farquaad, and like each of them came with like a few small items, and those items were scented. So like Shrek came with like, this is the closest I ever came to death, a sunflower that was rotted that smelled like, I can't even possibly explain what it smelled like. Each of these toys came with like a good smelling item and a foul smelling item. And the sunflower smelled like actually like garbage, like hot garbage. I remember these smells all too well. You know, I was there. For some reason, I'm always putting shit in my mouth. This is almost,
I knew that you were to suck
exactly the same story as when I gagged on the Webkinz snake.
I knew this was coming.
I don't know what compelled me to put that sunflower in my mouth.
The garbage, the stinky garbage sunflower.
I threw up all over my room.
Yeah.
Threw up all over my room. And
how did you explain it to your mother?
I think I was probably just hysterically crying. Like something horrible happened to me. Like I'm sick. I literally can't believe that happened. And it was so sickening. It was so intense. And I think about it all the time, and I don't know how to tell that story in a funny way that like people will care about, but that's just my truth.
I think that people are gonna laugh because I don't think that anyone was expecting it. But if we know anything about you,
I'm putting it in my mouth.
You're putting it in your mouth whether you want to or not.
Yeah, that is the best way to describe my entire life.
Yeah.
Why was I on the South Beach diet at 9 years old?
9 years old. That was the only thing I was seeing on television. It was like commercials were advocating for the South Beach diet.
And I was like,
I want to look like that.
I want to lose 40 pounds.
And I remember specifically, it happened when we were young, because I remember my dad must have there. I don't know if there was maybe women in bathing suits. Something was happening, but all I remember was he stood up in front of the television and was like, "Can't watch this."
Subway, for sure.
Subway
had its big moment in the 2000s. Subway became like health food. It became like, if you want to eat healthy, just go to Subway.
Just
Jared Fogle, you know what I mean? Like,
if you want to eat healthy, just have a loaf of bread.
one small baguette.
Marketing
slathered
campaigns can do anything.
anything. Yeah, I was eating the sweet onion chicken teriyaki with cheese on a 12-inch, being like, I'm so healthy.
The day I found out
About the sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
that was the highest caloric item at Subway. You didn't know? Oh, Joe. It ruined my life. I would go into Subway and I would always want it, and I would say, I can't do it. It has too many calories.
Isn't that crazy? We were like literally saying no to things as children because of the calorie intake.
Because of the South Beach diet.
There was something else. What was like the highest calorie item on like, Taco Bell, the Nacho Bel Grande.
Oh, yeah.
I was always like, this is the forbidden fruit. Like, I can never get this because it is the highest calorie item. And like, again, when calories started showing up on menus.
No.
That ruined my life.
Yeah, and it happened overnight
out of nowhere. I don't know how the printing presses got it done. Like, one day we woke up
the
and
Cheesecake Factory was always doing it.
Were they always?
They were always doing it, and then they had the Skinnylicious menu, which
we covered
it. But that set the precedent. That set the tone. You were like, okay, I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory.
Do they
I already
still
know.
have a Skinnylicious menu at the Cheesecake Factory?
I haven't been in a bit, but I can guarantee you they have a Skinnylicious menu.
That's crazy.
Put down the skinny.
Jimmy.
That is a product of diet culture. Right there.
Cheesecake Factory in general is.
Yeah.
What the hell is a glam burger? Why the fuck are they calling their hamburgers glam burgers? Like, I'm actually pissed, and I'm willing to cut complete ties forever with Cheesecake Factory.
No, Joe, like, can you allow me to go one more time?
Oh, we can go, but we're not going to work with them.
Okay.
But I did just see they have a French dip cheeseburger, and I'm going to change my mind. Remember Osiris sneakers?
There was a period where I thought they were so hot.
Oh, same. I love them. I have them.
Any person that wore them, I was like, you're hot.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. That was the thickest tongue I've ever seen.
No, like, something about an engorged tongue on a sneaker was all I needed.
That cushion for the front of your
The
foot.
amount of crab things you just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved an Osiris sneaker. Like, an Osiris sneaker, a bootcut jean, a band tee, and a flannel jacket.
Yep. And your skateboard waiting for you in your garage that you would never take out, but you would take out once.
Literally, Andrew, exactly. Like, that was my biggest obstacle in life is that I couldn't skateboard.
Yeah.
To this day, I think if I had been able to skateboard in middle school,
I'd be a different person.
I'd be straight. That's my straight. Yours is South Beach ad, mine's skateboarding.
Yeah.
The one thing that differentiated me from the straight boys was that I could not skateboard, and I wanted to so badly.
But we all had skateboards. We all tried, and I tried, and I couldn't do it, and that's why I still feel like I can't do it.
Was the government issuing them out? Like,
They must have been.
Why did I have one?
I would go to my neighbor across the street and be like, "You want to try to skateboard?"
I want to try to skateboard.
You'd be like, "Yeah, I'm going to skateboard." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Go down the driveway.
I was so afraid.
So scared.
I was so afraid of skateboarding.
I would be the person that would come with my mom would pad me up.
That's the other reason why I think I never learned is because I was embarrassed that I would not be allowed to skateboard without a helmet and knee pads and shoulder pads.
Yeah, and elbow pads.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my Owl City era. Before I had Taylor Swift, I had Owl City. That was
the parallels.
I mean, yeah, Enchanted to Meet You,
Yeah.
Owl City. I literally wore that. I remember buying, that was my first like band merch I ever bought was an Owl City t-shirt. And I felt so fucking cool. And I wore it with my baggy like PacSun blue and white checkerboard flannel jacket with a hood. And again, my Osiris sneakers. And I was like, like to this day,
You're like,
I almost want to buy that exact outfit again. I literally made myself believe that planet Earth turned slowly. Like, in
and you
that
would
moment.
be like in that outfit in your backyard looking for the firefly, and you'd catch the firefly, and you're like, it all makes sense.
It all makes sense. Literally, like, what if I told you I'm a mastermind?
And then they took Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh my God. And then I was gay.
Gay.
Yep. Before that, Owl City was a very straight passing band for a young boy to listen to. I felt very heterosexual.
And then they said, Carly.
I think one of the most culturally significant times in American history is the time when, like, every single person was buying clothes, merchandise, books, posters that just had, like, handlebar mustaches, pizza, bacon, British flag imagery was everywhere.
The British flag imagery is where you lost me, but that's where they found you.
That's where they found me. Keep calm and carry on.
Oh, keep calm and carry on was everywhere. Queen Elizabeth was like, check, cash the check.
Like, similar to how I had like an entire Great Gatsby outfit I would sometimes wear a keep calm and carry on shirt, keep calm and carry on phone case, keep calm and carry on tote bag, keep calm and carry on travel coffee mug, everything I could possibly.
Were you calm?
I was the least calm, and I refused to carry on.
Yep.
I was not carrying on with anything. I was frozen in place. You were
stressed and staying put.
The handlebar mustaches, to this day, like, seeing a handlebar mustache triggers some of the most intense fight or flight I've ever had. Like, I can't even believe there was a time where it happened. I want to do it just to say I did it. Like, I think I could do it if I wanted to.
You absolutely can do it. Joe, you just did it.
We've been talking.
We've been
some
talking.
of the most we've ever talked.
I know. It's the last episode. We had to get everything out.
Things that I never even imagined we'd talk about this week.
Me either.
It's time for
the girls' room.
Today's question is, what's your best advice for staying on trend? As someone who's committed to every trend that's ever happened in the entire world, and that, to name a few things, like green mullet, regular mullet, another mullet, mustache, beard, middle part, highlights, bleached hair, purple hair.
Yep.
Keep calm and carry on. Like
Von Dutch
as a child.
Ed Hardy,
Armani Exchange, Abercrombie, Hollister, everything in between that. I think that the lesson on being trendy is that trends will always change and they will come and go.
But you won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you've done a really good job of, like, taking all those trends and then now being yourself within a trend.
Thank you very much.
And I think that is the learning lesson of, like, how to stay trendy is genuinely being yourself. It's not about following what other people do. It's what feels good for you, what you feel good in, and you've done a great job doing that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's the first time in my life where, like, if it was 2 years ago, like, you wouldn't see me in a jean that wasn't so extremely baggy right now. Like, because of, like, the inverse of the skinny jean era. But, like, sometimes I'm like, I literally like the way, like, a tight fitting a tapered pair of pants fits. Like, I'm not gonna move on because, like, the internet says we're past that. And, like, everything that I wear now, I'm wearing this because I literally just like it. And, like, sometimes trends infiltrate. I mean, obviously we all know the devil wears Prada cerulean speech. Like, even if you don't want to participate in the fashion world, you're being influenced by it. Especially now, I'm like, will I wear this in 10 years? Will I want this thing in 10 years? And, like, sometimes it's even easy to be like, well, I want this in 2 months. And, like, sometimes the answer, it's easy to say yes, and then it's not, which sucks. But, like, I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm like, I don't need to bend and twist and snap for anyone else but me.
You should only be bopping for yourself.
The more that you do that, the more you develop your sense of style and develop your sense of self and can stand out in the crowd for just being you and not caring about a trend. With that being said, like, I do love being the first on a trend.
I think it's a good segue to say, since this is our last episode
of the
first season, we still will be active on Patreon.
Yeah,
which
call us Jeff Bezos if you want, but
call us Bezosian.
But if you want some more of us while we're gone,
in December, $7.
$7. And I don't care if you share it with one friend. I don't care if you share that login.
I don't care. I was searching high and low for Dunkaroos. I've been seeing Dunkaroos everywhere I went. I couldn't find Dunkaroos. I went to 4 different places today. Sour Skittles.
Sour Skittles.
They had
Your mind takes you places.
It does. Do you not remember when Sour Skittles came out?
I don't even want to put these in my mouth.
No.
Like, these are the first...
My top of my roof.
Yes. And I'm already... There's stuff going on up there.
I'm going to put them in my mouth. We're going to both have a few.
Nutter Butters. Nutter Butters. Yeah, I fuck with a Nutter Butter.
Yeah.
I, like, can't say more positive things about them. Is this it?
Nothing like Nutter Butters and Sour Skittles to end it all.
I can't believe we're at this point. I can't believe that, like, when we started this podcast, we did not know what we were making or who we were speaking to or how we were going to do it. And now this is just a rhythm of ours. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the snack, the questions, even setting up. Like, it's just wild to me how much we've changed and grown, but also, like, the main thing is exactly like we're just still doing this, which is the goal forever
and ever. 30 episodes down, 3,000 to go.
3,000 sounds perfect. What are you going to be doing with your break
In December, going to the woods. I'm gonna take a break, and I honestly do want to isolate by myself in a I was almost gonna say a foreign destination. I can't get on a flight. I'm gonna have to get on a train somewhere.
I'm gonna continue editing the Patreon. I'm also gonna start editing the Taylor Swift pod. Me and my friend Rachel are gonna be premiering our literary analysis of Taylor Swift's work podcast starting in the new year as well. It's a mini series. It's not going to be a weekly thing. It's 6 episodes.
Imagine.
I would not be alive if that were the case. But yeah, the edits for that are going to be happening in December. And then I'm just going to try and write more. I really want to write more. I think that, like, I am starting to get distracted in my day and like write as my distraction. And like, that's crazy. So I'm like, I want to actually commit time to write and like put out some more essays and then eventually obviously write a book. So
I also want to do some shows. I want to do a little bit more, like at least one more show or one show in December.
So much into these 4 weeks, but
Like,
you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, why not?
And this just reminded me, Julia Fox. This message is for Julia Fox.
Julia
if you're
Fox.
Not Julia,
beep, beep, beep.
If you're not Julia Fox,
Scroll
away. Keep going. Julia, I understand.
You.
Well, yeah, 100%. But I also understand that, like, what time do you have to come on a podcast hosted by 2 men? I get it.
I wouldn't.
We're barely men. I implore, I beg, like, there are so many people who I want to speak to, but, like, there's only one person who I believe would sit down on this couch and actually fucking get it.
Yep.
And have some of the most insightful wisdom, especially, like, not only about your middle school, elementary, high school years, but also, like, you're raising a child. Like, you're raising a good child. And I want to know from a maternal way how that's going.
Please.
Nothing else matters but getting Julia Fox on this pod. And we're Brooklyn-based.
We're Brooklyn-based. We're double bead.
We're double bead up. And we're begging. So we're triple bead.
We're triple bead for you.
And again, I know you're writing a book. I'm talking January. I'm talking whatever you want.
Your timeline.
You're busy in December, and I know that. And I honestly want to write a book in December as well. So we're on the same page. Oh my God. It's like,
help, I don't want to go.
I always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with a future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. You can find us. You can find us on all social media platforms at Good Children Pod. I'm at Joe Hegyes on Instagram, at Be Quiet Joe on Twitter and TikTok.
I'm at Andrew Muscarella on Instagram, at Andrew_Muskie on TikTok.
Patreon, Good Children Pod. We've sung it enough praises today.
You can find it at our link in our bio.
Yeah, it's linked. Everything's linked up. You know the drill. And we're still around. DM us, hit us up, tweet at us.
Dark. It's getting dark, you guys. And if you want to stay in and it's getting cold, if you want to stay in, if you want to rewatch, if you want to re-listen, send it to your friends. Say you need a laugh.
Yeah, when your friends, when the sad hits, send them an episode of Good Children.
Yeah.
We're here. We're an antidote, hopefully. But also medicine is real and science is real, despite Andrew being anti-vax.
Joe, you literally can't end the podcast like that because I'm vaxxed up.
I think that like that is also one of my learnings is like we can't lie. We can't lie as a joke and not indicate that it's a joke.
Like people literally think I'm anti-vax.
It's so good.
Oh
it's gonna stick with you for the rest of your life.
Truly. I'm gonna have to start posting pictures every time there's a
needle
in my arm.
Got the shot. I guess this is it.
And this is it.
I guess we'll see you in a month.
We'll see you in a month.
Or I will see you on Patreon. Or we'll see you on social media. Or in your dreams.
Hopefully in your dreams.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you. Come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.